It's Divas That Care Radio. Stories, strategies, and ideas to inspire positive change. Welcome to Divas That Care, a network of women committed to making our world a better place for everyone. This is a global movement for women, by women, engaged in a collaborative effort to create a better world for future generations. To find out more about the movement, visit divasthatcare.com after the show. Right now, though, stay tuned for another jolt of inspiration.
Hello to all. Welcome to Divas That Care Network. I am Joyce Benning, and I am your host for this robust lifestyle show. Please check out our website, divasthatcare.com, and see all the amazing hosts and their shows of women there interviewing around the world. I am just so very excited today to have a returning diva, Chantel White, with me, and she is going to speak about unmasking the truth with horses. Oh my, am I ever excited. Chantel White, could you please introduce yourself and tell us a little about yourself?
Okay. Well, you know, that's always a loaded question, isn't it? Tell us a little bit about yourself. We were just kind of giggling about that, what it means to be a cowgirl and cowgirl up some days. And so, yeah, I would consider myself a country girl and cowgirl, but also, as a seeker of truth and somebody who is constantly growing and learning. I have 3 adult children, all grown up. I am divorced. I live on a lovely 45-acre parcel right now with 7 horses and a couple cats. I did have 2 dogs up till recently, but they chose to leave me. They were getting older. So, I'm surrounded by nature and animals all the time, which is my love. What else could I tell you about me? Just I love to empower people and help them discover their truth, and that's because I've had to do that along the way too, through all these transitions in my life, and I'm still working through that, and it's just a great way to explore life, is what is the truth for you?
Oh, I love all that. Oh, that sounds so exciting, and I love the where you live. Oh, that just sounds beautiful. I was just picturing it in my mind, and
yeah.
Yes, that sounds absolutely gorgeous. Oh, how pretty.
Well, it is.
Oh, that sounds great. Well, I am going to ask you a question because I am just so intrigued with your title about unmasking the truth with horses. How do horses help people unmask and find their truth?
Right. Great question. A lot of people call horses lie detectors. I consider them truth detectors or truth seekers. And so what I mean by that is often throughout life we've been given a lot of beliefs and stories that really are not part of who we really are, not part of our truth, and not part of what we're wanting to step into as far as being who we really are. And so when I have people come out, that's what we start exploring, is all those masks that we put on to be maybe accepted or to please people or just to not let people really see us because we're scared we're going to be rejected or judged. And the horses really call us on that. And they do that in so many different ways. They, if I have somebody who is maybe walking with a horse that's on a lead, the horse won't walk. They're just like, no, this does not resonate as your truth. This might be something that you're doing. This might be something that's holding you back in life, but it's not really your truth. That's not really who you are. That's not really what you want for your life, and yet we kind of just start doing those things without even realizing that that's not really our path or what we want to do in our lives. Lots of times they'll come in front of people or they'll nudge people forward, like, get moving, like you're stuck, They do all kinds of really interesting things. They're just fascinating animals.
Yes, I will totally agree with that. I have horses of my own, and oh my word, they bring so much into your life. It is
Yeah,
just,
they do.
yes.
Do.
Oh.
Yeah, I could actually just tell you a quick story about. I just had a healing circle, and it really it kind of fits along with the question. But I had a lady come out, and we were looking at the goal of peace and contentment. And I was asking her what the blocks were, and one of them was expectations of others, and then the other was just lots of self-doubt and questioning. And I had her partnered with one of my horses, Zoe. And Zoe would not move, like just absolutely no matter how hard this lady tried to walk towards what I had like a cone placed, representing her goal of peace and contentment. No matter how hard she tried and pulled, she couldn't get her to move. And so I had to really sit with her and ask her lots of questions and what that was doing to her life, what that was doing to her body. You know, she had lots of pain in her body. She had, she's feeling really over-responsible for everybody else. So as we explored all that, she was able to really go, okay, well, this actually isn't really serving the people in my life, and it's hurting me, and it's actually killing me inside. And when she was able to step into that and feel like, oh, that's what it's doing to me, the horse moved forward with her. And yeah, it was really cool, and she just sat there. She goes, I just can't even believe it, what this has been doing to my life. And yet it was just all these little habits and beliefs and stories that were holding her from really stepping into her peace and her contentment. So it was really cool.
Wow. Oh, that is an awesome story, and it's so relating, because how many times do we just go through the motions in life just because this is what we're supposed to be doing, and how going through that session with the horse helped her to realize this. Oh, that is just incredible. I just love that story. Wow.
Yeah, it's really fun to watch people and, just see the sparkle in their eye after they're done, and they get a lot of awareness. And of course, for me, I get to watch that and learn from it too. So it's a world benefit.
Well, I'm sure every session you have, you can pick up some golden nuggets through it.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
To not only help yourself, but to help others in the next sessions. Wow.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think probably a lot of entrepreneurs can identify with this is when you find a calling or step into a message, then you really have to step into it. And that's been a lot of my journey in the last 8 years since being certified as an equine Gestalt coach is, okay, I'm wanting people to step into their truth and be who they are and be authentic. Then I have to let a lot of the things go that are holding me back from that life as well. And, it's not always easy, but neither is living a life that's kind of filled with lies and things that are just holding us back. So either way, it's work.
Oh, man. Oh, yes. And being a Gestalt coach, can you explain to our listeners and go into a little more detail of what Gestalt coaching really is? I think you've touched on some of it, but just so they can relate to what that really means, please.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we all have things that happen to us in our lives throughout our lifetimes that maybe are held within us and start becoming a cycle in our lives. It might be a repetitive pattern. It might be a repetitive belief that keeps us, stuck in that story. And Gestalt brings a wholeness or completion to that story. So whether it's, something you wish you would have said to somebody when you were a kid, and it's just still really triggering within you, you're able to bring that up and explore it in a safe and wonderful way, and especially with the horses. But either way, you can do Gestalt with horses or without, and it doesn't resonate anymore. So it's like ending that story or ending that, the cycle of like I just see it like a record player going around and around and around. It ends that, so it no longer resonates within you, in your energy, in your beliefs, in your emotions, so you're able to become whole within yourself without having that play in the background.
Oh, that's a beautiful explanation. It helps you become who you really are and brings out the things that you've tried to hide down inside that many of us do to just keep moving forward.
Yeah, we try to stuff it down so many different ways, whether that's through addictions or whether that's through, getting busy in life, or whether that's through overeating, or, there's just so many things that we do trying to stuff it and numb it down, and yet it's still there until we deal with it, right? And so this is a beautiful way to deal with it so that you can step into who you really are and live a life that you're meant to live, which is amazing.
Oh, yes, and to do it with horses and to help, and how they're helping you come out of that. And as a woman, us women have a tendency that we have to put on that smile and keep moving forward to help everybody else.
Yeah, I would say that the mask that I see most women wearing is the brave face mask. It's that face that we put on. You think about how often we say we're good in the world when we're not, or the big smile on our face. And I mean, sometimes, depending on the situation, we have to put that on, but then we end up wearing it everywhere, and it just doesn't serve you in being your authentic self, right? And so being able to take those down, that's what happens with the horses. They see through it. They're like, no, this isn't serving you, and they help you get connected to yourself. So many people say, I feel so connected to myself, and tears come to them. They pet on the horses. I feel so calm and at peace. Well, that's our true nature, is to feel content and feel peace and feel joy and feel happiness. And yet all these little masks and things that we develop over time really hold us back from that.
Oh, yes, and I just love how the horses see right through us. They
do.
They see right through that mask, and they know your feelings. I always feel they know the feelings before we ever even get to them.
Well, yeah, absolutely. I mean, really, when you look at them as being a huge prey animal, that's part of their survival mechanism. And so when we speak something and it's not really in congruence with our belief or how we're feeling, then they'll go, whoa, something's off here. This isn't right.
Yeah.
Right? So they pick up on that energy, which is lovely. And like you said, they do see right through us. I had same healing circle that I just had on Saturday. One lady looked at me, and she had come for the first time. She goes, I think he just looked into my soul. And I've heard people say that over and over and over. They really do. They see right into who we are, our beings, right?
Yes, they truly do. Oh, yes. And their hearts are so big that they have so much to give, and that's what I just always find incredible with them. They never quit giving.
No, true.
I just love
Even
that.
when sometimes they should, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, they're an amazing animal, and I'm just so blessed to be able to partner with them to help people, heal some of those beliefs or those masks that they're carrying around in the world.
Oh, yes, definitely. That has to be such a rewarding feeling to yourself when, like you were telling about the healing circle and how people are finding themselves, true selves. That has to be a very rewarding feeling for you, Chantel. Oh.
It is. It feels like my calling, my passion, my purpose, and I think doing that and stepping into this work has called me out to be my true self as well, right? I can't be carrying around all these masks and helping people remove theirs. So it's definitely it's been a wonderful path that I'm happy to be on and continue to be on.
Oh, yes. You have to find yourself before you can help others. So
totally. And
love
I have
yourself.
moments where I lose myself too. I'm human, right? So, but I get busted a lot quicker because because I have these horses around me all the time, right?
Definitely, I hear you totally.
Yeah.
Well, was there an aha moment in your life where you were like, okay, this is what I need to do? Was there a moment that helped you find that calling that you wanted to do?
I think there was some defining moments. I think for myself personally, I was born loving horses. Like it was something I was born with. When people were playing with Barbies, I was playing with little Breyer horses. Yeah, I don't know if you know what those are. Maybe you do if you're a horse girl. Yes. But they're like, little play horses. But I had horses, and if I had a Barbie, she was riding a horse. So that was always part of my life. It was always part of my life, and I was lucky enough to have live in a family that. My mom she was always into personal growth and listening to Wayne Dyer and Marianne Williamson and all the the spiritual teachers at the time. So I had that in me of this growth, and so I've always had horses in my life and always wanted to learn and grow and always had within me wanting to help others. That's just always been who I was and have been. And I raised kids. I was raising my 3 kids, and I had been a stay-at-home mom, and then I started doing office work, which if anybody knows me well, they look at me and they're like, how did you even do that? Because it's just so not who I am. And I was doing it, and I was just really feeling unfulfilled and feeling like that heart tug, like there's something more for me to be doing. My kids were still young at the time, but I felt like I had done a lot to raise them and that they were doing well, and I would continue being a mom, but I still felt like there was more. There was a calling, something calling me, and so I actually sat and journaled. It was almost for a year of what do I love to do, and it was always be with horses and help people. And so I started researching, and I researched lots and lots of different programs because there's different modalities in working with horses and people. And this one really resonated with me because it really got to the core, and whether it's the core of trauma or the core of whatever it is that's holding people back, it really got there. And the training was so intensive, it just resonated with me again. So I took this training and. That's where it's led me to where I am today and continually doing it, right? And I'm continually doing my own personal work and helping others. But, it was really, all I can say is it was a huge heart tug and really it's like everything that I am, this equine gestalt resonated with me, right? So that was my aha.
That was a beautiful aha moment, and it listen to your heart and what your passion is in life. And it sounds to me like that's exactly what you followed. Like you said, it was tugging at your heart, and horses have always been your passion. So, and you listened and went, that is great. That is awesome.
And it is great. It is, and I think there's no other way to live, personally.
Yes. Well, I can only imagine once you experience that, then you have that peace, maybe? Would you call it a peace feeling inside of you? Yes, that you are doing what you have been called to do.
Yeah, absolutely. And, it's not easy. Like I said, we kind of joked before we got conversating on this show. I mean, I've had to cowgirl up to do this. It's not like it's been easy. Today, for instance, I've ran a skid steer. I've had to run around on the quad. I've got my lawnmower going. I've been feeding horses. I've been putting horses in and out of trailers. It's not easy, and it brings me joy. No matter how hard it is, it still is who I am. I'm outdoors. I'm with people. I'm outside with horses. And so, it does bring me that peace regardless of it not maybe being necessarily always easy.
Right. Oh, I can totally relate because I love the outdoors. I love my horses, and that's where I love to be.
Yeah.
That is so awesome. I just love that. Well, I went to your Equine Reflection website. I love this website.
Thank you.
That is so beautiful. I love a real horsewoman with a big heart, and that is exactly what you sound like, Chantel. And the horse that you have with you on your picture is just an absolutely beautiful horse with such kind eyes. Can you share a little more? Is there a special bond between you and this horse?
Oh, boy, don't make me cry. Yeah, absolutely. She's been a huge part of my journey. Her name is Zoe, and she came to me. I actually had a horse. I mean, people can resonate with this, whether it's with an animal or a person in their life, right? I had a horse that I tried so very hard with. She wasn't right for me. I mean, I loved her to pieces, but she just wasn't right for me. And no matter how hard I tried, it just wasn't the right fit. And I finally came to the conclusion, and it was after 13 years. You know, I'm kind of a tough egg that way. It takes a while to come to the conclusion of, like, really, okay, this isn't right for me. And I decided to let her go, and a lady approached me and asked if I would be willing to trade for this little mare, Zoe. And I thought, well, okay, sure, you know, I'll do that. And Zoe came into my life, and she was actually my first coaching partner when I started taking the program. So I had her a couple years before I started the program, and she was just one of my greatest healers. At the time, I was really suffering with body shame and weight obsession. Like, it was just almost all I could think about was how I looked, and of course it wasn't good enough ever, and my weight was always a big deal. Though at the time, you know, I'm sure many people can resonate with this. Like, I look back, I'm like, what was my problem? Like, I had no extra weight at that time. But, you know, to me, it was just awful. And she was a big part of me healing that for myself. I would just bring her out and groom her, and she's one of my most amazing little coach partners. She does so many just mind-boggling things out there with clients. She's actually the one that I was telling you about, was helping the lady that was stuck. She just does the most interesting things. That she's just the sweetest thing. So yeah, I would call her one of my best friend ponies for sure.
I could see that in the pic alone, because you two just joined together. You can see it in both of your eyes that you read each other and you love each other. It's just written all over both of you. That is beautiful. You are so welcome. Well, and another thing on your website that I found that I really loved was your feel-good tips.
Yeah.
You shared about 10 different tips to people, and one of them was a gratitude journal. Have you always been involved in doing a gratitude journal? And what benefits do you see from doing this to share with our listeners?
Well, I think anybody who has been into personal growth or is a seeker understands the value of gratitude. I do fall off track. I'm back on it again. Gratitude is a life changer. It really helps you appreciate where you're at, what you have. It doesn't mean that you don't continually strive for difference or, you know, stepping more into yourself, but it just brings you to that place of peace and contentment with where you are, and seeing all the great gifts in life. And I think that just opens the door to more and more and more of that, because often it's so easy to focus on what we don't want or what's not working in our life, and then that just brings more and more of that. And so to sit with, at the end of the day, writing 5 things, I find it like actually just before bedtime is the best time, because it really puts it into our subconscious and puts us in a really good state to wake up in a better place, right? Because what we're stewing on before we go to bed is what we usually often wake up with. And I find it such a life changer if you know, for myself, if I sit at the end of a day just before I'm going to sleep and think about the things that went well for me and what was, you know, I have to be grateful for, and it just opens the door to joy in life. Yes. And I think on an energetic stance, like when you look at energy itself, it raises our vibration. And so when we're in a higher vibrating state, then we're able to open doors to things that are better for us in our lives. So, can't say enough about the power of gratitude and making it a daily practice.
Yes, I would totally agree. I'm a gratitude journal person, and oh my goodness, it just makes my day doesn't seem complete unless I do that, and it's a fulfillment. It just makes you feel good, like you said.
It does.
That is just wonderful. I love that.
It is.
Well, you are such a very busy horse lady. How do you balance your work and still find time to give back to others like you do?
Right. That's a great question. It's not always easy, and I can't say I'm always perfect at it, but I've found that it's me first. And the one thing that I find people doing all the time when I say, what about you? What is it that you want? And not taking not focusing on everybody else first, they feel that that's selfish. And actually, that's a farcity. That's another lie that needs to be busted. And so I have found for myself, when I get up in the day and I start my day up, and it's about me and what I need in the mornings, then that directs my day, and then ultimately it directs my life, right? And then so I have more power and energy, and I'm serving from a place of love and contentment and peace, which then helps others find that, rather than a place of resentment and exhaustion and just not wanting to do it anymore. So I think it's just a necessary thing to start looking at what do I need to do as far as my practice, whether it's a spiritual practice or a self-care practice or whatever it is, to really make that a daily habit of this is what I do, because that's when people fall apart, right, is not taking care of themselves first. And so I put myself on the top of the list. And that's a hard thing for everybody to do because we've been taught to do the opposite.
Yes.
We've been taught to not put ourselves on the list, or I've talked to so many people in either shame spirals or just absolutely depleted from caring for others. Like their shoulders are dropped and their heads are down, and they can't even lift their heads. Their feet are weighted down, and it's just so sad to watch them because they don't even know how to put themselves on the list. And so I have learned, get up in the morning and put myself on that list and do what I need to do for me first. So like this morning, for instance, I went for a bike ride. I did yoga. I meditated. I get up early to do this. But it's my time, so I get up excited because it's like, I get to wake up and do what I want for me first. It brings a new energy, right? So, that's what I would say is it's been a huge shift in me. It's not been an easy one because, of course, society teaches the total opposite. And using that term selfish, that's where everybody goes, and it's just not true.
Yes, how true that is. I think I said it earlier, especially as a woman, we always feel that we have to put ourselves at the bottom and everybody else comes first because we have to do everything for them. And we can't do it until we take care of ourselves first. Oh, my, how beautiful.
It's true.
That
and
is
look
just
what's
beautiful.
the example we set when we do that, right? Set for children or set for people in our lives. Like, no, actually, I matter. I'm important here. And I'm going to take care of you because I can care for myself first, not I'm going to take care of you because I feel like I have to. It comes from a different energy, and it serves people in a way greater way when we can come from that place of being full rather than depleted.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. Well, Chantel, this interview has gone so quickly. This has been I've just loved every minute of it. It's just been great.
Yeah, me too.
And I am going to ask you, and you've said a lot already, but what are some just final thoughts, tips, tools that you would like to leave as advice to our listeners today?
Good. I would say start asking yourself what your roadblocks are to love. And by love, I mean self-love. What are the roadblocks for you to not loving yourself? Whether that might be people-pleasing, whether that might be, over-focus on your body or over-focus on other people, or whatever it is that's kind of blocking you from loving yourself, and start really busting that and asking yourself, what would love do in these areas? If you loved yourself, what would you do? How would things be differently? Like I said, my journey into equine Gestalt coaching was by exploring what would I love to do. And it really gets you into looking at yourself, right? What is it that you need? What is it that you want? So I would really encourage people to start looking at that. What would love do for you? Because we love so much for others, but what would love do for you? Well, of course, we spoke of gratitude and how important that is, and any practice, and making a commitment to yourself to do it. Often we talk ourselves out of it, and if once you start getting into the routine of it, it becomes easy. So just do it.
Just do it. I love it. I just love that. Just do it. As we talked earlier, just cowgirl up and do it.
Just for yourself, right? We'd cowgirl up for so many other people. Cowgirl up for yourself. Make yourself a priority and make yourself important, and then other people will see that, hey, guess what? I can do that too. It's like giving people permission.
Yes. Oh, that is just beautiful. I just love all of that. Those are some fantastic tips and tools for our listeners to take away from this show. Oh, that was just awesome. I just want to thank you so much. Oh, you are so welcome. I'm thanking you for being my guest.
Well, you're welcome, too. It's been fun. It's been fun getting to know you, too, and you're so easy to talk to, and I guess we can, as women and cowgirls, really understand each other, and that's the nice thing about coming together, right, is a mutual understanding, and it's good.
Yes.
It's good.
Yes. Oh, I totally agree on all of it. I just love it. I love it. And Chantel, I so hope you will come back again and have another interview with me so we can keep up to date on what's happening in all your Gestalt coaching and your workshops that you have, and just everything that you're doing in life and helping women. Yes. And we will be posting all of Chantel's social media links to this podcast. I want to thank all of you for listening to this incredible interview with our amazing returning diva, Chantel White. Please share this show with your family, your friends, and be sure to check out all the hosts and their shows on divasthatcare.com. Have a fantastic day. Remember, be kind to all. Give your animals a hug and share your love with them. And until we connect again on Robust Lifestyles, stay strong and healthy.
Thanks for listening. This show was brought to you by Divas That Care. Connect with us on Facebook, on Instagram, and of course on divasthatcare.com, where you can subscribe to our newsletter so you don't miss a thing.